account story lah. So hari ni kita akan layan account story je lah. Takat mana yang boleh ya. So today we gonna play Genshin Pet and we gonna do account story for the next for today. Sorry, should be for today. So it should be like so guys, jangan lupa follow, like dan share. And guys, do not forget to share and like, follow if you interested in my live stream. Yeah. Where is the lift? The lift stay not right. Finally. Oh, this teleport, it should be here. I'm sorry guys. Okay.
Whatever. Just be sure to wake Paimon if she dozes off. Paimon's worried something might happen if you go alone.
Traveler.
Traveler? Did you fall asleep already?
Oh. Tak tahu ya. Wish. Oh, dia dapat bayangan. Oh, 3 orang ni. Naruto. Ada satu jalan Oh, ada satu jalan baru.
Traveler, come on, wake up! Oh, it looks like you were just peacefully sleeping to Paimon. Well, what did you see this time? Really? So we're finally starting to figure out what actually happened! But what about the cannibals? How do you explain them? Okay, well it's about time for us to get moving. Just be careful to avoid the patrolling guards.
Petrol guard. So malam tak boleh nak merayau. Okay.
Careful! We'll get in trouble if the guards catch us.
So macam mana nak?
Uh-oh! They spotted!
Oh yeah. How?
Shh! Careful! We'll get in trouble if the guards catch us.
We have to walk slowly or what? We run?
Uh-oh!
Oh, saya need to walk. Kita berjalan je.
Shh! Careful! We'll get in trouble if the guards catch us. Uh-oh!
Hey. So, if it's not like that, can I just go? Just seriously just macam tu je.
This should be the place.
Should be the place. Yeah.
What? I know you.
Huh. You've got guts showing up here.
You'd better leave now. Ain't nobody coming here to...
What you say? Yeah, so what if they were? If you push...
Hey, what's the point of all those rumors anyway? What exactly are you trying to do?
I don't have to tell you anything. If you turn around, go back to the dormitories and act like you never saw anything, then I'll pretend that you never showed up here.
Yeah, scram. Nothing worth seeing here. Huh? What did you say?
Isn't that exactly what Boss said when...
Hey, do you know our boss? Whoa. We had no idea our boss was such a big deal. He always kept his identity a secret. So, did he have you come here to find us?
Oh, so your child's crew here? Seems like he had no problem fitting in.
We're the only ones who heard him say those words when he left that night. So, unless he somehow told you those exact same words after that... All right. I guess that's proof enough for me. I believe you.
Wow, those dreams of yours sure come...
We gave him the business for a while and would always give him a hard time when he first came to the fortress of Maripede. But here in the fortress, the strong will always earn respect. He was working the longest hours and racking up wins in the Pancration rank. You could always see how amazing he was, even when he was teaching us a lesson. So eventually, we all decided to follow him.
But one day, he suddenly told us that he had to find a way to escape this place, no matter the cost. He said it was because he heard that call again. And as his crew, if the boss wants something, then it's our job to get it done. So, we got to work, and used the hidden rules that were here to make up and spread the rumor about the cannibal rule. We just wanted to give him a better chance of escaping on a night after the pipes had been cleaned.
Oh, thanks to your rumor, nobody would want to come anywhere near here, prisoner or guard. Wow, it sure is easy to exploit people's fear of the unknown, but has a child already escaped? Why are you all still coming here after pipe cleaning day?
Because as far as we know, the pipe he went into isn't actually an exit. It should be a dead end. It leads to an abandoned factory area, and even if there were a way to escape from there into the sea, we're still way too deep. No one could ever reach the surface alive. But Boss still insisted on going in. It's like he was obsessed about it. So we told him that we'd pretend as if he never existed while he was gone. And that if he wanted to come back, he should wait for nighttime on a pipe cleaning day. That way, we could meet him here and help cover the whole thing up.
So you come and wait here through the night a few times a month just because of that promise?
Yeah.
Hello.
But it's been so long now. We already know in our hearts that he must have managed to escape somehow.
Is it also possible that something unfortunate happened to him?
Nothing could ever defeat Boss or slow him down. It's one thing we know for sure.
Okay. Paimon was just brainstorming possibilities.
All right. Keep quiet and follow us.
Alright, let's go.
The way up from here has been sealed off. Boss left by going down from here. It wasn't full of water at the time. Later, we came back hoping to have a look. It's impossible to navigate unless you're an extremely skilled diver.
Do you think Child got trapped by the water?
Not likely. We all know that Boss was an incredible swimmer.
Really? Then have him come investigate. Pronto. Just be sure to tell us if you get any news about Boss.
It's getting late. We should leave before the guards come this way.
Yeah, we learned a lot about what happened to Child here. Let's get going.
So, send it to rest.
We finally learned some key information. Seems all of our investigative work has finally started to pay off. When you said you knew a diver, you were talking about Fremine, right? If we ask Linny, he'll definitely have Fremine help us. Ugh. Why is Child like this? What was he doing going into the pipes? Not making our jobs easier, that's fortunately, though. It seems like it's only a matter of time now before we find out what really happened. Now that we can finally relax, I'm starting to feel super sleepy.
Nighty night, no.
Let's try to get some rest while we still can. Nighty night, traveler! It's morning already? Oh, Paimon still needs more sleep. Huh? Wait, look over there! Isn't that... It's one of Linny's cards! Let Paimon see what's written. Maybe you haven't heard, but today is the monthly free day. Everyone has the day off today, which makes it the perfect time to do some investigating. It's been a while since we last talked. Have you been making any progress lately? Ooh, today's our lucky day. We have the day off. From the sound of it, Lenny's been making progress with his investigation. Wonder what he's discovered. We still have some time before we meet up. Let's talk with the people here for a bit more before we go.
Bottom or what?
Look, there are some people talking over there.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats. Do any of them give half a hoot about a bunch of dogs like us?
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm no dog.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of us. I've heard that even if you're released after serving your sentence, going back to life on the surface ain't any better. Once a criminal, always a criminal. We're marked for life.
I don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood and everyone had to start over from nothing?
What kind of filthy bilgewater you spewing? I have family up there. You best shut your sewer hole with talk like that. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your sentence. Not bad if you ask me. Who wants to live in the ruddy overworld anyway?
And what makes you think they'd want to hire someone like you? It's one of the great mysteries of the universe, how someone as useless as you is so confident.
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy about the overworld. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the words overworld or underworld when we were living up there. Is it only something the inmates down here say? That's true. There's a group of people over there. Let's go listen in.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two? Why'd you come over all of a sudden?
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking about something private.
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in on our fun, that's all.
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Yeah, fine. You're lucky we don't mind extroverts that much.
You hear that, Quisto? What nice!
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right? But before that, it just so happens that I know you two.
Really? Are we that famous?
You kidding? How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused quite the kerfuffle.
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime, unlike some of the others here.
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry. We're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our information is always so explosive, and we blow minds on the regular.
So, you two really like to gossip? Whew, you sure know how to embellish.
No. You don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for example, knowing who's working with whom, who has the latest rumors, who's not getting along. Wouldn't you like to know all that? Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know? You should prove you're worthy of it.
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play nice and say something to massage his ego. The welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right! That meal we had yesterday was super delicious. Paimon can still taste it whenever she closes her eyes.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen assistant for about a month and a half now.
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing. You could be a professional chef.
You are correct. I am a true professional. In fact, I even went to culinary school. But enough about that. Since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully. This little bombshell will help you learn what's really going on here in the fortress. Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less about us down here. We're basically dogs to them. You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Risley. He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care about something, then he often doesn't bother dealing with it.
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks. Even better treatment in the infirmary.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him.
But did you know that Churia was a talented researcher from...
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the Fortress of Meripede, you're just another inmate like everybody else. Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by the corridor with Lorvine. I also heard they started arguing.
You mean he hit a woman? Wow, I never imagined he was that bad.
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know?
Wait a second.
Do you think could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on?
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Jim.
Okay. Kind of weird.
Hey, you over there? Yeah,
Who,
you!
me?
Say, do you like playing card games? You know,
Yeah.
like Genius Invocation TCG?
Play that game.
You TCG players are like mint in the wild, literally sprouting up everywhere.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation aficionados? Anyway, care to... alright.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this? Don't people usually come here to fight?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a competition. There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play. Sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right?
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then.
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors? Then did you know that there are some people who are always gossiping? Yes, you've already met those two. They're quite a pair. They always keep an eye out for the latest happenings in Gotham. I heard that they used to be a chef and a bartender before they were sent down here. You know how bartenders are, always chatting with customers. And chefs love to
Good to know. Do you have anything else to tell us?
Let me think. Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict in the Fortress of Meripede before?
Huh? Wait, are you...
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. It seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising up to go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie, I kinda respect that. Forbidden Zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up.
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it. Do you have anything else you can tell us?
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time. You'll have to play a game of Genius Invocation with me first, though.
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Linny. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production.
this to go down. Soon lower. Is this kind of joke or what? Like, seriously? Some door.
As expected of the legendary duo, you have my full and undivided... I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all, and Master Child probably went missing because he found a way out. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful than I initially gave him credit for. Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find out Master Child's exact whereabouts. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His agenda might be linked to his...
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving skills to chase after him.
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the task.
Bingo! Is he around?
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk to him about it later. It's the least I can do. We're all in this together, so it's only fair for us to fulfill our end of it. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Risley's watchful eyes.
Collecting information has always been our strong point.
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace Master Child's original route. And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now. And after that, he'll probably take another 2 or 3 days to return.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long time. We know each other's capabilities like the backs of our hand. Traveler, what say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine while we're at it, too. Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help with. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more progress on the investigation of the Forbidden Zone. Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving.
What do you want us to do?
Well, I won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and investigate the ruin and virus. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings within, and pass those on to me along. But also, there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, my apologies, I just started rambling out of habit. It was almost as if I was talking to my younger brother.
But that's not a bad thing, right? All right, then we'll head out as soon as we finish.
Let's go our separate ways for now, then. Don't forget, we meet here again in 9 days.
Paimon will take a peek. There seem to be several people in... It's a bit hard to understand them from here, so... Someone! Please help!
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little bud? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do! Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion? Could it be poison? Let me take a look. Please, lie down. Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly. You can do it, traveler! Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you. My checkup has confirmed that he's not in any mortal danger. That's our worst... Eh? Oh, that's good. I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. And here? Huh? But based on my initial check... what about here? Oh, I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad stomachache when it decides to act up. So that's what it is. Thank goodness it's not anything more serious. There have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. I'll inform our head chef, Mr. Woolsey, of this problem as soon as possible. Congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Why don't you take a rest here while I go get some medicine? Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
And she hopped away, just like that.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
His stomach ache's really bad. He was stumbling about the whole way.
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry.
But it also looks like she's the only medic you've got down here.
Ah, well, that's true.
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for the whole fortress, but it's not like everyone imprisoned here is used. Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about medicine, and they help Miss Sijuin take care of the sick and injured.
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient? Aren't you a patient too? Where did all your energy come from?
That's correct.
Are you two...
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups, and to pick up the medicines Miss Sijuin prescribes for us. That's just the nature of chronic illnesses. As for her... you could say she fancies herself as Miss Sijuin's capable helper because she learned a bit of medical knowledge ages ago.
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now! Please, keep it civil at least.
But...
Release. It's way too early for us to even think about that. And who the heck knows if we'd even be able to continue our previous lives?
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh, and Mr. Jurier, I don't want to see your face here again anytime soon.
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place. See you later, everyone.
He just slowly walked off like that?
It's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? But there's no need to keep dwelling on it. I'll accompany you two for a while. Miss Zishwin should be back soon, and I'm sure you'll feel better as soon as you've had some of her medicine.
Thank you.
No, it's nothing.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Zishwin.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days' worth of medicine for you. Take 1 pill now, and then continue your bed rest. Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should be taking today?
I remember.
Yellow.
You said it should be yellow.
Yellow?
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours. Please, make sure to go to bed early after taking them tonight. You'll benefit from a good night's sleep.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon, too.
See ya! I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to double-check a few details, if that's all right with you. Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest? Paimon can answer the questions instead. So his primary symptoms are abdominal pain with secondary symptoms of nausea. Is there anything else? That's it! Alright then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the med? No, his base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to Blander. Got it! Paimon will hold the Traveler to that for sure. Oh, you're going to take a nap already? Okay then, you get... We've been to lots of places together. We look a bit under the... So you're the best of companions. Don't worry, he'll recover. Ah, you're awake. How do you feel? You slept for a really long... Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember, Thank you, Miss Zishwin!
Dormitory.
something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time, you scared Paimon half to death! No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, don't take my grilled fish, and put down the Adeptus Temptation now! Paimon talked with Sigewinne the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon didn't notice anything unusual in the room. Are you sure we're not going off track with the infirmary? Whoa! You really are super thorough. All those tiny little Today's the day! Let's go meet... Oh!
Hmm? Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule. Nothing weird happened.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions when you infiltrated the infirmary. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago. And as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary.
Wait, why is she getting...
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that, infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. We want to avoid using the same faces over and over and reduce the amount of suspicion that will fall on any given... Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks. Oh, Paimon hope...
Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then...
Is now really a good time?
According to my observations, Sigewinne always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Lynette knows that. Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only not...
Okay, then let's hit him.
Lynette should be here right now. Huh. Strange.
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't...
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed that if she were to make change... Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look...
Okay.
There are some books here and a few files. They all look like advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patients, a quick guide. These sure are some interesting books. She even has books on understanding people's motivations and feelings.
Seems quite normal to me. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right?
She would have said her migraine was having a particularly bad flare, which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up and...
Ah, this is it!
Wait, this thing? The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that... Let's look around here for some more clues.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper.
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message.
This is...
Is that all? The back.
Show me! Now!
That look on your... Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No. Could she have...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as bait?
Wait, you mean...
Yes. That is a crucial question. Wriothesley. He doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activities from the very beginning. You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Don't panic. Just think everything over. I have to stay calm. Wait, you're right. The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... Could Wriothesley have let him go at...
What does he gain by letting
So he's challenging me and trying to provoke me, I'm sure of... We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot now.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. Wait, don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child. That was our fault.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible. I'll go talk to...
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please, don't...
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted again. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them...
Lynette.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these details.
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? Very well. Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. Someone! Please help!
Whoa! Are you okay?
Ah, these two. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? Being able to read human expressions is... Lenny! Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him.
Oh, he's already gone.
He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office.
Come out and face me, right?
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a...
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette, maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages... You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicion. As for Fremine... No, You probably didn't even...
There was no need to do so. The Fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right?
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but Fremine is not.
He's not. What do you...
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates...
Wait, you can't mean you locked him outside in the...
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world. That...
Fremine's a star diver.
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the surface.
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a professional capacity.
So... you've been keeping tabs on...
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, all of... Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior.
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an...
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for a parents' eve. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family. I don't see
why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come here in
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection.
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter...
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here. If you refuse...
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a sec? I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter...
I shouldn't...
6...
Wait,
2. Time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Lenny, can you at least talk...
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best, but that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote... Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now. I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days?
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupon. We often see Miss Sigewin observing Fonta's internal reports. The research notes said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before. We often see Miss Sijween observing the prisoners at work near the production. Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged The research notes said that the Melazine race perceives the world very differently from humans. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of it. We often see Miss Sijween observing the prisoners at work near the production.
Under what description the strange meat appear?
According to Collins, the Pancration... I've been told that the infirmary is always... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of... We often see Miss Sijween observing the... Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. According to Collins, the Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize... I've been told that the infirmary is all... The research notes said that the Fonta's internal report suggests that they're
Under what strange meat
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty. Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company... I've been told that the infirmary... I've been told that the infirmary... The Fonta promoter has been struggling The research notes said that the Melazine race
I'm not sure this hepatosis. Lucky I can...
So that's what's going on!
Yeah.
Paimon understands it now! Who would have guessed? The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, she often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has out of her sense of duty as the head nurse as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health. Sijween has only the best intentions with her surprise gift. Unfortunately, Melazines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and the recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijween's secret and even guessed her intentions correct. All right, now for my neck, there are also some hidden rules in the Pancration ring, including the one that you're not allowed to...
I've been told that the infirmary is always... Fonta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial. We often see The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize... The research notes said that the According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because... The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't... We often see Fonta's internal report suggests that there's... Fonta's internal report... The research notes said that the Fonta promoter has...
Paimon gets this rule too! That hidden rule of the Pancration ring is about how people get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate, but really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named a blood-red drink. The company, facing backlash from its own they came to the fortress of Meropide and offered offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push the Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only total idiots who... And so, only those who proved their...
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration with the company. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought is... You'll pay for this!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sigewinne. That was a fantastic...
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sigewinne, though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually...
Sigewinne...
Not at all. I am merely a resident. When Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take care of the well. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace?
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things... What are you talking about?
Take me if you want.
Mm-hmm, how touching.
Don't be like that, Your...
All right, everyone, calm down. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne?
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarend.
Fremine... Fremine...
What's going on? What is Clarend doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linny. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
A flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seed. Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr.
I'll talk to Clarend while you get Fremine to where he needs to be.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seed. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave... sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fort?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator.
Where is she?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now.
What's that look on your face?
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes late? How's the situation out?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial seawater has increased significantly. I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time... Well, you can see...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance and...
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim back.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions.
That's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case. Want some tea?
Not particularly.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea.
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel?
I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's...
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Fremine?
He'll be fine. But for now...
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to...
Yeah, I'll take him from this side.
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. The Duke and Clarande are gone. They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a...
What happened there? Can I go to the pipe? Dive in?
He's awake.
We're all here.
The infirmary, at the Fortress of Merip. How do you feel? Don't...
Traveler.
The
The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater.
Shh, it's okay. We can talk about it after you've...
No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater. I don't know why it's there, but no one should touch it. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm... Where could Master Child be?
Oh no. Oh no. I hope I don't have to fight any enemies.
Huh. This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it?
Oh.
It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it.
I got no chest. Oh, nice sword. So this is a royal great sword. Oh, nice, huh? Oh, beautiful sword. Eleven 8 slash C3. Okay.
This is where the water starts. Master...
2000, alright. There. 4791. Not bad, not bad.
The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. I should be going in the right direction. Oh, there are traces here too. I need to keep going.
What trace?
Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the... My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going on? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it.
Oh.
I can't die here. This... I have to push on.
No wonder.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea where Master Child could have gone. But there was also no obvious place for him to have...
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared.
Miss Clarande, you say?
You're still too weak for Monet. Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come to...
You should ask His Grace about that.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with us, Lenny?
No, please go on without me.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave. Both of you are just in...
Understood. In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to...
Thank you.
Thank you.
I take it Mr. Fremenet's condition has stabilized?
Of course. I wouldn't have left the infirmary otherwise.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss Siegewien?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran. How are you feeling?
Mostly fine, I think.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few minutes.
All right. Thank you for looking out for me. I'll take my leave for now, then.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. How about enlighten? Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have? You can start with whichever one you'd like to get answered the most.
Then Paimon will begin.
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals, I only figured those out as you made progress on your investigation.
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were trying to do?
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place, he did on his own. Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work?
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremenet has told you already, the ratio of primordial sea... The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also...
Are the rumors true? That you're also a
Why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself?
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to...
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person to help me get through the impending crisis.
And saving Fremenet was part of that...
You can think of it like that, yes. That's not something you should be asking after. Neuvillette only asked you to investigate All I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance. That should be clear.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us. Isn't it about time that you answer our last question in return?
You make a compelling case. Do you...
Yeah, Paimon really...
Even if the truth may not be pleasant, follow me.
Door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the fortress...
Risley?
Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, what a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Hence the name, Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little...
Well,
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not... Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one!
Go on. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky, and the readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been normally I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran a few tests to increase the... Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the... Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress...
The concentration of...
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the... Yes.
But forget about the two of us! Not even Neuvillette knows where the Primordial Sea could be, much less where we could find... Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the Primordial Sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some, the indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has... If this continues... Soon it will no longer be able... Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone...
But that's just too weird! Why would the fortress...
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. It's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The people drove the criminals away. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon took pity on them and said, and so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of the Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repentant, but as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered soul... After many, many centuries, few people... Now and again, researchers managed to break one law or another.
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this... To be frank, not really. But sadly, prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one... Let's go somewhere else.
I want to show you something.
This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh?
No need to panic, you two.
What? After you warned us...
I'm skeptical as well.
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could ever...
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
How about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine Research Institute. He used to work under Edwin. Good. Saves... Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his is...
You want...
Ah, what a lovely idea.
Gotta admit,
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical
Ooh, are they together?
See? Everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not...
If I dated her, I'd officially be mad.
Jeez. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do it. Let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge... This is also a production zone that Paimon's never...
How much do you know about Fontaine? Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the gold, he called his nation Lemuria and used the fortune.
There's a ship in this story.
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that
Do you believe that?
to a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor materials, so the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath...
Were you inspired by the legend?
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold on to. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy them. As the fortress's administrator, Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups. Seems like you're good. I'll leave you here.
Oh!
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just...
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it.
Great.
Okay, paham.
We're back!
Welcome back. Do you want to...
How can you be so much like Risley? Always drink...
Huh. Actually, while I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me. They were discussing...
Must have been Risley and C.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female.
I really can't make... So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn...
Yeah, he explained it.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so I'm...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sijwin is also busy.
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he...
Whoa, he's good.
That's our Lenny. Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first, then I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervulet. Risley is as long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the 2 factions... If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary.
You're super smart.
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan... that can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip...
Let's see.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis. But how could Risley have known that?
Risley.
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side? Which could be why he said he just wanted to
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. The 2 of you have already aided us far too much. If you ever need anything else going forward, though you may not share the sentiment, after all...
You have my
Thank you for protecting Lenny when it really mattered. And thank you...
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden? Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll catch you guys...
Paimon hungry.
It's time for dinner. Welfare meals now.
Come on, let's go pick up ours as well.
Traveler and Paimon, over here.
Are you here for dinner too?
And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare.
Huh. You're right.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too! Don't forget...
No problem.
So delicious. Paimon's so happy.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
Delicious. Quite.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the
The
expression
muffin
on your face
is
just
just
now? The muscle here just moved, which suggests that you're feeling quite relaxed at...
Sijuin, do you do this to help your patients or to better understand human beings?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melazine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to take good...
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like an older sister.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister?
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said...
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linney as well. We had to press.
You were all super considerate and...
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often. Get a good night's rest, you two.
So much is... I'm on super sleep. Delicious.
Out of my way! Get out! What happened? Why is it? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Who's yelling? What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey! What are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye!
Hey! What's wrong with these people?
They're here! Yeah! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. Laveroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed.
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? What? As far away as possible.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out!
Go,
we
darling!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already try to move as far outwards as possible.
Could it be? Sea water.
They're here.
Just like I said.
We have it!
Huh.
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Neuvillette? Why are you here?
Traveler, I need you to head to the... Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone. Will do. You have...
Okay. Please, please don't kill me. Level 1. Oh, already. So...
Look! There are a ton of Fatilium Palais Mermonia! Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur, though I'm sure he's already explained, this should be a mostly cordial conversation, unlikely to give rise to violence.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests, Miss...
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must...
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am the Knave, one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers.
I've already prepared seats for you.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Farina and I. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. Coming from...
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier. As you well know.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry.
Oh. And...
Because,
And where did he go after leaving?
well?
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long...
Hold on. The water in the teacup is shaking.
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come.
I...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem inside...
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed. But only for now.
I win this bet. You owe me.
Very well. It was...
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down by yourself.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears...
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now?
So what gift must the loser...
He already has tons of tea in his office.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness.
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the legal code.
That was... Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the overworld.
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermon.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatui.
Fatui. Pink.
I must say, we've spent long enough playing house. Miss Farina, as the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed.
What are you trying—
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you yet. Here you are, relaxing. He's hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to— But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and careful—
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just—
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you look down upon me, Fontaine will be saved. Even if I—
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working?
My machinations are just like the prophecy is—
I see. As a god, allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the part— Oh, that look at—
The emergency—
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated over the year?
The Oratrice?
So you also have no idea. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, but even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on, great Hydro Archon? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Neuvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina, I suppose you must have ordered him away.
Yeah, yes.
Of course I will. Although, I must say— Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left, so— Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the UDEC. You too, but—
Thank you. Oh, Paimon's—
If it's on my—
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also— it is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well. We'll—
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity—
Paimon's coming too!
Traveler.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your deal.
That's what Paimon thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father, I would like to express my— Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth, that was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to—
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight—
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate that— By the way, and you can just you are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine.
able to move around.
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Forget it. I will be meeting some.
Do you require help with?
No need. I need to meet with Farina, a Hydro Archon. She is at the heart.
Oh? Come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me?
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy, it's actually making me a bit suspicious. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone. It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the... In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under some kind of curse.
Who are you? And what are you trying to do? Please don't kill me! I'm begging you, please!
The fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after all. I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my... Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps Iudex Neuvillette. I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of...
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please.
News from the Fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contact...
Probably the handiwork of the... I'm afraid this is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than... Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the... Oh, and I have an...
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the... You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you. It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all... I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Iudex Neuvillette... I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether Iudex Neuvillette or Farina, of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do not require... It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to... Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve. And as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must...
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long... Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my... So as expected, permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon. You can't tell us? Then...
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history, and now... another catastrophe will soon be upon us.
Huh? What?
You may be closer to the truth.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be...
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we?
You guessed correctly.
Right. There's still...
Please, go...
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat,
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
the dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend...
Oh, so...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office.
Please go right ahead. We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Return to prison to learn more about everyone's situation. Let's see.
Now guess, what suit will this next card be?
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Looks like you're recovering.
Thanks to everyone. Oh, right. I managed to work up the courage to thank Miss Clarand in person.
Whoa, how did she react?
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her at all. She also told me not to worry about it.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's best not to dwell on it.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera house and we met the knave.
You met Father? Did she say anything to you?
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand.
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's fantastic. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which now might also include you.
Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others sometimes.
Got it.
That does sound like something that Father would say.
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few days?
Looks like it, yeah.
Excellent. I will host a tea party.
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of cake.
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and...
This must be 2% that gossip. Yeah. Hey. This right. This guy.
You guys are back.
You guys didn't get caught and...
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary.
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just really...
Hey, it wasn't just me.
Something. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell them I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand, enjoying the lovely scenery.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening to all my gossip.
These two. They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make sure you finish every last bite.
Situin.
Traveler, Paimon, you're back! Are you still doing all right? Did either of you get hurt?
We're fine, but what about you guys? It was such a huge mess. How bad was it?
A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulette paid us a visit. It was all thanks to him that we managed to suppress the crisis for the time being. Oh, of course, we must also thank you for the help you provided.
How did Nervulette know that he was needed here?
Well, Monsieur Nervulette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level, I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. If you're not too pressed for time, just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walt. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. They're so memorable, and I've missed them immensely while you were gone.
Deep into water.
Courier?
Yeah,
That's no excuse for...
Courier, Lurvine, we're back!
It's been quite the mess.
And you? Are you still taking the secret?
Yep. That is...
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people.
I mean, the infirmary does...
Oh, yeah?
You two really are just using your...
Not at all!
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface? Some strange winds blowing.
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing.
We're fine, for the most part. Nervulette came down and took care of the work.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him?
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Udex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember.
He sure sounds...
Miss Clorand has left as well.
Were the gifts...
Nervulette got the milkshake. Clorand received lipstick.
Those aren't even...
Well, it's Nervulette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fun. Oh, and I have some gifts.
Are these from...
Nope. They're from your... You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so...
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long...
You may access the cap... Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your release.
Okay, wait there for...
back in our cell again. We're no longer sure feels that way. But huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with there are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but you're counting Paimon today? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well! Just our thoughts making Paimon. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside us. We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, Traveler!
Oh, so the account quest is already finished. So I need to wait for update 4.2.
The blade embraces its duty.
That should be it. Why God? Huh? Oh, traveler. Ostrich. L2 story quest. Okay.
It's been a while since we last saw Neverlet. Paimon wonders what he's been up to. Paimon has so many questions about his true identity. Let's go talk to him and find out.
Should be level 2, yeah. Oh, let's find I can do this. Okay.
A good newspaper should be alive.
I don't know. Okay guys, so sampai sini sajalah live kita untuk hari ini. Semoga kita akan bertemu di hari lain dan masa yang lain. Thank you for you all that watch my live. Okay, thank you. Hopefully we can see again. Bye bye.